Let's learn how Tony Robbins and Richard Bandler revolutionized military training using NLP, neuro linguistic programming. They took a bunch of army people and made them 10 times better snipers, 10 times better at shooting in just one training program instead of going through hundreds of hours of training program. Yes, that's actually possible using NLP. Hi, my name is Mitesh Khatri. I'm a law of attraction coach and a best-selling author of the book, The Law of Attraction. Today we are learning how to control our brain, how to control our mind to learn something faster using the case study and example of what I just spoke about, Tony Robbins and Richard Bandler. Many years ago, both these people had mastered NLP. So they got an offer from the military of US asking them that you keep claiming that using NLP we can learn anything faster by 10 times. Is it true? So the army challenged them saying, come and train our snipers to make them better at shooting and get better score on shooting faster than their usual training of hundreds of hours. So here is what they did. This technique in NLP is called as modeling from success. Most people don't model from success, most people model from failure. Example, do you know that a lot of medical science is based on, now, don't get me wrong, this is not a criticism to medical science, but let's understand the psychology. A lot of medical science is based on studying sick people, understanding those principles, and then applying it on whom? Healthy people, right? A lot of psychology is based on what research? Studying people who are mentally sick, understanding them, and then using that research on whom? Mentally fit people so that they don't go mentally sick. But Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who were the founders of NLP, and then Tony Robbins with them, created this revolutionary idea and theory that instead of learning from failure, why not learn from success? If I want to be excellent at something, why should I learn from failure? Why not learn from success? And they were the first people who clarified that failure only teaches you what not to do. Failure doesn't teach you how to succeed. Success teaches you how to succeed. So they developed a beautiful method in NLP called as modeling, where they learned that they can model excellence from excellent people, but you need to know what to model. So in NLP, there are some methods. Example, VAK. Everyone write this down. VAK. What is VAK? Visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. When we are doing something, we are seeing things in a certain way. We are hearing things in a certain way. We are using our body in a certain way. Now, what Richard Bandler and Tony Robbins did was they went to army, and in the US Army, they first asked them, give us your best sniper first. Not average sniper, give us your best sniper. So they found the excellent sniper first, and they told the sniper to shoot, go through his normal routine of shooting. Now, obviously, because he was the best, he was getting a bullseye every single time, almost. So Tony Robbins and Richard Bandler were studying him. Studying his what? His excellence. And during studying his excellence, they not copied, but modeled three things about him. How was he seeing? How was he hearing things? And how was he feeling? How was he using his body language exactly? How exactly was he using his gun? When using his gun, was he looking through the scope or directly outside the scope? What exactly was he doing? They modeled every single thing that he was doing that helped him be excellent. Now, believe it or not, when they asked this sniper, tell me how exactly do you shoot so well? He said, I don't know, hundreds of hours of training. So it had become muscle memory for the sniper. Even he did not know how he became excellent at something. That is why he could not train the new cadets or the new shooters to shoot as good as him. But what Tony Robbins and Richard Bandler did was, because they knew that brain works on VAK, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, they observed him when he was shooting and they made a lot of notes. And they copied exactly what he was doing when he was excellent. Every time he made a mistake, again, they made a difference between what was the difference when he was excelling at a particular shot, what was the difference when he did not excel and made a mistake. Because they kept studying him, they took only about 2 or 3 hours to study him, by the way. After 2 or 3 hours of study, they knew exactly what he was doing, because of which he was getting that shot every single time or almost every single time. Now what they did was they brought new shooters, and not one, not two, but 10 of them. They got a lot of these new shooters and they told every single one of them to do exactly the model that was used by the excellent shooter. They made them stand in the same position. Now, some of them said, but that's not my comfortable position. Tony Robbins said, Forget about that. Let's learn from excellence. Let's not learn from our past experience. Let's learn from other people's best experience. Make sense? So they told them, leave all your resistance and just stand exactly the way that excellent sniper stood up. See exactly the way he saw through the scope. Think exactly what he was thinking. And they had made notes, remember? So they told these shooters all those details. They trained them on it for about half an hour, 1 hour, saying, this is what the excellent shooter did. They made sure that when he was shooting, the excellent shooter was shooting, they even modeled his breathing pattern. That when exactly was he breathing? When he was triggering, how much pressure was he using on his trigger? There is a muscle memory in that, right? Now, the shooter who's excellent didn't know all this. But that's what these guys had modeled by studying him again and again. Now, they taught all these 15, 20 things that they had modeled from this guy to these new shooters. And guess what happened? Their score improved by 100% in one training program. Normally, to increase this kind of score takes many, many hours of shooting for these army soldiers. But look, their training went 10 times faster. Wasn't that amazing? Now you can apply this in your life. How? Learn from excellence. I'll give you my example how I did that. I personally modeled Tony Robbins in his life because Tony Robbins is someone whom I really look up to in terms of how he creates transformation in people's lives. I observed that Tony Robbins had this ability that in a crowd of 5,000 people, he will make any one person stand up randomly who's going through, let's say, suicidal thoughts. And he will take this person and transform him in just maximum 25 to 30 minutes, maximum 45 minutes. He'll take this person and make him feel like he wants to live the most inspiring life in the world. Example, I remember watching one of his videos where there was the time during, you remember the 9/11 time when the Twin Towers fell down and there was a terrorist attack? Just that time, that particular day when the attack happened, Tony Robbins was doing a workshop. And the news came in the workshop about the Twin Towers and that this accident had happened, this terrorist attack had happened. At least half the people who were attending his program that day had friends and relatives working in the Twin Towers. So, can you imagine the situation that workshop was in? And he was doing this workshop about 4 to 5 flight hours away from Twin Towers. That means people couldn't even go back immediately to meet their friends and relatives. Now, the whole community was shocked, under depression, and that's when Tony Robbins did his magic. I have that video, by the way. I've seen that. He did his magic of uplifting the entire crowd in a time of crisis, and he proved it to them that if you use the correct models, even during crisis, you can be excellent and you can take control of your state of mind. And he did it. During that video, I saw one particular person who said, whatever happened in Twin Towers was the right thing to happen. This is jihad. And he was very angry. And Tony Robbins took this guy and transformed his thinking from terrorist kind of thinking, from jihad kind of thinking. And by the way, jihad is not necessarily a bad word. People who really study jihad, they know that it's about peace. It's not about attacks. It's not about terrorism. But this man was angry and he thought what happened was right. Tony Robbins, instead of hating this man, transformed this man in 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, this man actually was so inspired that he said, I'm going to spread the real meaning of jihad everywhere in the world. And he actually wrote a book on that a year after that called My Jihad. And it became a national best-selling book at that time. But you see, Tony Robbins was able to transform this man in 45 minutes and give him a future which could have been completely different, right? Imagine his level of thinking at that time. He could have become anything after that. Tony Robbins was able to transform him. And now, when I saw that, I decided to model that. So today, believe it or not, I have developed that skill where I can take a person from suicide to inspiration in maximum 45 minutes. I can even teach that skill to anybody because I have mastered the art of modeling. Not only did I model Tony Robbins, I modeled people who are good at finance so I can improve in my finances. I modeled people who were good at, I remember many years ago, I wanted to learn guitar. So the way I learned guitar from my guitar teacher was very different from how the other students were learning. So where other students were just doing ting, ting, ting with strings in the first 10 days because that's how they would teach, I was able to play an entire song of the guitar in just 3 days. Entire song. Why? Because I was modeling. My student, her name is Beshu, she was learning piano. When she learned modeling from me in NLP, exactly 1 week after that, she said she was taking piano classes and she did the modeling technique with her piano teacher. And believe it, she was able to play the entire one song of piano in just 2 to 3 days of training. Because she said normally this takes about a couple of weeks to learn. She was able to learn it in just 2 to 3 days because she understood how to use modeling. Excited about learning how to model success from other successful people? All you have to do is understand and master NLP, and then this skill is yours to use forever. Click on the link in the description below. There's a free masterclass that I'm offering you worth rupees 10,000. That masterclass gives you access to more details on what NLP is, how NLP works, why is it so powerful, how it can make your life powerful, and how much time it takes to learn and acquire. All those details in the masterclass, completely free. I'll see you there in the masterclass. And hey, if you loved today's video about learning from excellence, give it a quick thumbs up and share this video with at least 3 of your friends who believe that learning takes a lot of time. Help them understand that learning doesn't take too much time if you learn in the right way. And most importantly, if you loved today's video, hit the subscribe button on the channel so that next time I'm coming with more such videos, you will get an email from me. But for that, after you hit the subscribe button, remember to also hit the bell icon. See you soon. Take care. And tell me if you want me to make videos on any other topics. Post your questions in the comment section below. I'll definitely try to make videos on those topics. See you soon.